Welcome back to Just One Question. And I am thrilled today to have with us Emily Thorner, who is a singer and a speaker who cares a lot about the human voice. And so welcome, Emily, and tell us how you're doing.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited. That's how I am. I'm more motivated than ever. I'm more in my purpose than ever, and I'm ready.
And we're going to jump right in because screen time is precious and our viewers are impatient to hear from you. So what are you excited about these days? And we just recently did a TEDx talk, so I want to hear what was that about? And I'm hoping you were excited about it and it connects with your purpose.
Oh, very much. They are one and the same. So the TEDx was the power of your voice. And I am so excited because in that talk, it is the perfect introduction and experience. It is the experience part that excites me more than anything because every single person that watches, every single person will have some element of and some measurement of opening up their voice and their throat center more, which is going to massively benefit their lives. And we did that in just a TEDx. So I'm very excited about that. So all things to do with the voice are what excite me. It is, I believe, our most important point of contact with the world. What you say and what you have to say in the world is individually so important. And I want everyone to know how valuable their voice is and that it's so much more complex than just the vibrations of, your voice box, and that we can access more of who we are in that TEDx. So that is what I'm very excited for.
Excellent. And what is the problem that you see most often with people's voices? Like what's holding most people back?
I think that people don't know how many layers to their own voice there is and what their voice is really capable of. I think we think of it just as singing or like sound of voice. And it's so much more rich and deep and complex than that. So in the talk, for example, we will go into the different patterns, both in our current space and also even through like generational patterns that either hinder and inhibit or free our voice. And by voice, we mean what you have to say in the world, how you connect to the world, how you communicate yourself. And so, this affects our relationships, our career, how we are seen, how we, express ourselves is such a core part to our identity. So I want people to know that it's so much more complicated than we think it is, and in a good way, because that means there's something that we can do.
It connects with a particular um, thing that I'm absolutely fascinated with. And so I'm going to risk another question. Just several questions is the title of
Okay.
our podcast today, uh, because it's such an important topic. And it is this. So I coach speakers, of course, and executives. And most of the time, I would say they're using maybe 75% of their voice. That's what I hear because I listen to voices in probably a somewhat similar way that you do. And occasionally you run across somebody who you say, fantastic, they're using their whole voice. It's coming out and and it's a showstopper usually when it does. I mean, I think of Oprah. I happened to be
Oh, yeah.
hearing her once giving a commencement address and it was just an extraordinary moment because of the power of her voice. Or I remember the first time I heard Adele sing in concert, and I thought, what a voice. There's just so much more of that, and so much of her humanity is coming out. So, what is that? And how can people think about even taking the first step to doing that, to bringing their full voice to their lives, to their careers, to their relationships, as you say?
I think it's really important to know that it's not something that some people are born with and some people aren't. I believe it's something that every single person can access. And I think for some of us, it's a really big part of the story. Like there are some people I worked with, for example, who had, physical issues where like in the beginning of their lives, for example, they could literally barely physically speak. And we talk about that in the TEDx. We talk about what is the physical manifestation of that, and how does that connect to things like self-doubt, seeking validation? And that's again where it's really deep and complex, and I can't wait for people to hear it. But I think that's the thing, whether it's a big part of your journey or only your first time really hearing how important this is to your journey, every single person can express more of themselves and open up more of their voice. And you can do this through, shifting the layers of what you probably have no idea is actually covering and silencing us and repressing us, which, in this time, we don't want that anymore. We want to be free. We want to be fully expressed. We want to be our complete and full authentic selves, because there's nothing more powerful than your own authenticity, rather than like, let me copy this or fit in a box. So really, just to say, it's never going to be about comparison, like, oh, I want to be Adele, or oh, I want to be Oprah. They are amazing in their own right. But that every single individual, your voice matters, and that your voice has more to say and more to bring and more to express in the world. And of course, also through your career, than you even may know. And that every single person can access that. And that is the work that I specialize in and adore.
Amazing. Emily Thorner, thank you for being on Just One Question. And stay tuned, everybody, because the TEDx talk will be launched soon, probably by the time you see this podcast. Um, it'll be nip and tuck, which one comes out first. But in any case, stay tuned for that TEDx talk about the voice. Thank you so much again for being on Just One Question.
Thank you.